Breaking news. Former CIA director and retired U.S. general. Putin's invasion of Ukraine has made NATO great again. Invasion of Ukraine by Russian President Vladimir Putin has made NATO great again, according to a former head of the Central Intelligence Agency. Of course, Putin hasn't gotten the memo. Former CIA Director David Petraeus told CNN's Jake Tapper on Thursday that Putin doesn't look in the mirror and see a leader who made a catastrophically bad decision for his country. He set out to make Russia great again, and really has made NATO great again, Petraeus said. Many officials and experts agree with Petraeus' assessment of Putin and NATO. Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander James Stavridis, speaking to MSNBC in March 2022, said that Putin may be the best thing that has ever happened to the NATO alliance. Stavridis made note of Germany's increased defense spending just days after Putin declared an invasion of Ukraine. This was a move Germany had resisted for years. Petraeus served for many years in the United States Army, including as commander of American troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. The retired general was the head of the CIA in 2011 and 2012. He has long been highly doubtful of Russia's ability to win in Ukraine and has had harsh words for the country's armed forces. 1 month after the invasion, in March 2022, Petraeus told CNN that the Russian armed forces clearly have very poor standards when it comes to performing basic tactical tasks. In addition, in February, Petraeus stated on CNN that it is now evident that Putin is waging a ruthless war of attrition in Ukraine. Putin, according to Petraeus, still believes that Russia can outsuffer the Ukrainians, Europe, and America, just as the Russians did with Napoleon's army and Hitler's Nazis. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, nearly 17 months have passed. On Wednesday, the US and its allies wrapped up a NATO summit in Vilnius, Lithuania, where they promised additional security assurances to Ukraine but decided against extending Ukraine membership. Insiders' comment request for Petraeus was sent after business hours, but his representatives have yet to respond. Surgery to correct congenital abnormalities in children would be exempt from the ban, but medical interventions designed to change the sex of a person would be illegal under the proposed legislation. Transgender people would be unable to adopt children, and they would be prohibited from changing their gender on official identity documents. A marriage in which one of the partners later undergoes a gender transition would be invalidated. On Thursday, a bill that would outlaw gender-affirming surgeries for transgender people was unanimously approved in the second of 3 readings by the Russian lower house of parliament. Surgery to correct congenital abnormalities in children would be exempt from the ban, but medical interventions designed to change the sex of a person would be illegal under the proposed legislation. Transgender people would be unable to adopt children, and they would be prohibited from changing their gender on official identity documents. A marriage in which one of the partners later undergoes a gender transition would be invalidated. Transgender rights activists in Russia have spoken out against the bill, claiming it will lead to a black market for hormones and an increase in teen suicide attempts. Nef Celarius, a member of the LGBT rights group Vicod, coming out, told a news agency, "This is a logical continuation of the repressive policies of the Russian government, not only against LGBTQI people, but against human rights, freedom of speech, and democracy." Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a law in December that severely restricts the dissemination of LGBT propaganda, effectively outlawing the free expression of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender identities in the country. Putin has framed LGBT rights as a sign of Western moral decline. According to the State Duma's official Telegram channel, the proposed bill to outlaw gender surgery will undergo its 3rd and final reading on Friday. Upper house approval and presidential signature are then required to make the bill law.